What's good? We are back with another Speed Lab. Very excited to get into it with you all today. It's been a little while, so I do have some athlete film reviews to go over, a good number of them actually. But before we do that, we've got to talk about you know, maybe the dumbest decision I've ever seen in track and field. And that is this. So this is not Travis Miller. This is his X account, but he's awesome. Great page. Go check it out. He posted this: every round of the women's 100 meter will take place on the first day of the LA 2028 Olympics. And you're like, oh, that can't be right, right? What I'm reading is not correct. You look at the schedule, you say, okay, oh, you see women's 100 meter round one, women's 100 meter, that's semifinals with the S finals. But oh, wait, it is on the same day. It's 9 a.m. and then 5 p.m. So in the span of one day, the women will have to run the 100 meter round one in the morning, come back, run the 100 meter semifinal, and then stick around for the 10,000 and then have to run their final. And I still really wasn't sure that this was true. Like that's so idiotic to do that. Until then I saw this where it's true. He has here the LA 28 Olympic track and field schedule. This is the Olympics in 2028, the whole thing. So you have July 15th morning session to July 30th. And you see here again, you have the women's 100 meter round one, the women's 100 meter semifinal, and the women's 100 meter final. I can't tell you how stupid that is, right? It's hard enough doing multiple high level races in 1 week, let alone a day. Like, you have to consider that these women are going to have to warm up for their 100 meter, right? Figure out how to do it in a way that is best for their body. Like, even whenever they were spaced out with multiple days in between, the athletes still had to figure out a game of how hard should I run today. And it's not because they wouldn't like to give 100% every race. It's because of the demand on your body to sprint is so large that it takes multiple days to recover, right? We have a video on Usain Bolt and his coach defining 72 hours in between true sprint days. And here you have the Olympics asking these women to do 3 100 meters in one day. And you have your warm up, you have the race, you have nutrition, you have hydration, you have cool down, and you have recovery in between, like, each race. What do? You put your feet up, you get massage, all that stuff. So these women have to balance all of that. And so whoever made this schedule is clearly not a track person. They're like trying to get eyes, get viewership on this day one opening day, and they know how they're going to do it, right? Give you a little bit of some action with the women's all running at once. Like, they are trying to tackle a big problem of the track world being essentially boring, right? Track is a boring sport, not because of the running is boring, but there's so much downtime, makes it inevitably boring. They go, oh, I know what I'm going to do. We're going to have 3 races in the final in the same day for the best sprinters in the world. That's just you couldn't get more show your lack of knowledge for track and field other than doing something like this. So that's something that you tell me if you agree, right? Like let's see what they say. Is it set in stone, or is this something that can be changed? Has something like this been changed in the past? Because this is ridiculous. I agree, Drew, to the game. Like, why only the women's when they're closer to the world record than the men? Well, I mean, you get, like, they're going to hold the men back to last. But if you show the women's, you kind of get a little bit of a very exciting moment, because indeed it is very exciting to watch the fastest people in the world run, men or women. So you get everything in one day, but then you still save something for later, right? Seems like we could squeeze a women's 200-meter round in during the morning. That's pretty good. I like that. Right. Look at all these reactions. And so yeah, you tell me, like, is that something that you're excited to watch, or like I feel like they're just gonna get hurt. That's so crazy. Um, or if they're not hurt, they're not going to run as fast as they otherwise could. So in the long run, it doesn't seem like a great move. So I also, while I was being quite angry at that approach, at that scheduling change, I came across this. Altis is a excellent brand. I would suggest again following them. They really know what they're talking about. I think we've covered a little bit of Coach McMillan's Stuart Mc something. He's great. I really liked what he did with Andrew Huberman, but they posted this. Sprinting doesn't cause injury. Poor preparation does. Coach Vince Anderson. This is the Texas A&M coach, I believe. In coaching the relays, world-renowned coach Vince Anderson shares the technical models and practice systems behind some of the fastest relay teams in history. From acceleration to exchange rhythm, Vince unpacks the details that separate clean execution from chaos. If you coach sprints or relay squads, this course gives you the clarity and structure to refine your athlete's speed and efficiency safely. That's not what I got. So this video actually has nothing to do with that, but it has to do with this. Sprinting does not cause injury.
Sprinting does not cause injury. Lack of hydration causes injury. Improper warm-up causes injury. Returning too soon from a previous injury causes injury. Bad mechanics causes injury. Sprinting does not cause injury. If you're hydrated, if your mechanics are good, and it's a coach's job to teach sprinting.
Okay, so this gave me some ideas as far as I do the same. Let's see here. I do the same thing when I meet a client for the first time. I always ask them to do their warm up, right? And then I sit back and I watch, basically because it gives me an idea of everything that coach was saying about how well are they hydrated, um, what are their chances of injury, where are they strong, where are they weak, what's their posture like, and that tells me a lot. So that's the first thing I do with all new. Hold on, let me turn this down. It's very bright. Is that better? That's a little bit better. Couldn't see anything. Okay, so coach gave me some ideas around the biggest problem with most runners and how to solve it with one easy thing. So that's what we're going to talk about. Hold on. There we go. Okay, the biggest problem with most runners. Speed begins before the first step. The biggest problem with most runners isn't effort, it's showing up. So we have this speed triangle here that I like to use in terms of the biggest problem for most runners. So consistency is an easy one. It's kind of the base. It's the foundation. Obviously, you've heard it a million times. You need to show up. You need to be consistent. But what are the true factors that get us there or prevent us from consistency? Well, first is going to be your programming. That's going to be something that people struggle with, that athletes struggle with, as far as how are you consistently showing up for speed training when high level programming is that you can only speed train 2 days a week, right? You need 72 hours between each speed training day. So how do you then become consistent? That is handled by a good coach's programming. And then how do you avoid injury? If we train too much, we're going to get injured. If we don't train enough, then we're going to be slow. So over the course of this video, we will solve how to show up consistently. We will cover basic programming and how to remain healthy. So what we're covering today worked for my client Dave here, who was able to drop his 100 time from 13 flat to 12.3, 200 from 33 to, you see it, you can read it. There's some clues in here for Dave that we're going over today to solve the problem that most runners have. It worked for Liam. We had great changes for him. His problem was running fast and at big meets, which we're going to cover. Dave's problem was posture and relaxation, which we will cover. And it worked for Casey, whose problem was strength and speed, which we will cover. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, that's me going Super Saiyan here. I actually do not like that at all. Okay, so I'm Coach Chase. I've been running or training for 23 years, track and field. I've done some cool things like get full scholarship, nationals, championships, all that stuff. I still train, I still coach. But the question I have with showing up every day is a simple, and it's something that everyone says, but can be very difficult to program. So what does showing up every day actually look like? This is an actual picture of me running, and then you already heard the animation. I need to turn this is me animated AI running and going Super Saiyan. Okay, very good. So the harsh truth is that sprinting does not cause injury. Right? This is Coach Vince Anderson. He instead argues that lack of hydration causes injury, improper warm-up causes injury, returning too soon from a previous injury can cause injury, and bad mechanics cause injury. And again, there's one thing that I know as a way to fix all these things. The harsh truth is that you only get 2 chances a week to train speed. You know, Glenn Mills taught this to Usain Bolt, that you need 72 hours between true speed sessions. Waste those days and you fall behind. And simply put, if your warm-up doesn't prime your nervous system, you are going to lose. What are the fears and frustration around most runners? What happens? This is a question that you either get frequently asked as a coach or will come up as athletes inevitably get injured. What happens when you can't stay healthy? You're not seeing gains due to inconsistency. You're not peaking when it matters most. You can put in a ton of work and still come up short. You feel behind due to injury or proper training. So again, this is the test that I give all my athletes, which is the first thing we do when I meet a new athlete is I say, warm up. I want to see you warm up. And then I sit back and I watch because it tells me everything I need to know. And it goes over the basics of what we're going to need to cover in order to show up every day. So we go back to Coach Vince Anderson, right? Sprinting does not cause injury. A lack of hydration causes injury. So for hydration, you want about 15 and a half cups of fluid every day. For men, about 11 and a half for women. This is from the Mayo Clinic. So when I say that why? Okay, 1 second. Okay, when I say that the warm up tells me everything I need to know for my athletes, I'm looking at everything as far as what water bottle they have with them. Like, you'd be surprised how many of them do not have a water bottle with them. So I know you haven't been drinking enough water, right? If you need water breaks, if you don't need water breaks, do you have electrolytes with you? Are you eating electrolytes? These kind of things are going to take care of hydration. And again, I can pretty much pick this up from an athlete's warm up about basically what kind of shape they're in and if they're well hydrated. Do they need many water breaks throughout the warm up, or are they good with 1 or 2 water breaks through the warm up? So that covers hydration. Now we're going, what about an improper warm up that causes injury? This is the main crux of the whole argument that I'm presenting today, which is that a proper warm up can solve everything. So how do you warm up is another thing that I'm going to be looking for. Do you simply stretch and you're good to go? That's a red flag. Is your warm up less than? It says greater than. It needs to be less than 20 minutes. That's a red flag. If you don't do multiple buildups, and oftentimes this means buildups in spikes, then that's a red flag. If you want to learn how to warm up more, this is me doing some sort of warm up here that is inside of this package warm up you can download. Why the warm up reveals everything. Your warm up is a mirror of your performance mindset and reflects your knowledge or lack thereof for speed training basics. So the movements that you make shows me the quality of your mindset around those movements. Rhythm shows me your nervous system readiness. Posture shows me how you are going to process stress, and how you start determines how you're going to perform. So sprinting does not cause injury. Again, we went over why lack of hydration causes injury and how to do better around that. We went over how improper warm-up causes injury and how you can access that warm-up. Returning too soon from a previous injury. So again, your warm-up is a mirror of your performance mindset and reflects your knowledge or lack thereof of speed training basics. So when you come back from an injury, the warm-up is going to tell you everything you need to know about your readiness. Because there's a blurry line between when you're able to come back fully and when you're not. Because for track, for sprinting, for jumping, for a lot of track and field related things, you're going to feel okay at 85%, but it's when you try to tap into that 100% speed that you realize, oh, okay, like not only am I not ready, but then you re-injure yourself. So having a thorough warm-up is really going to test you before you get out there and unleash all your potential onto the track. Not only that, but warm-up is a great way to promote blood flow to injured areas. So it's the best way to promote healing. And again, the best way to assess how ready you are to go. It provides little baby steps. A proper warm-up should be baby steps along the way. And at the end, you should be able to go 100%. So because there are baby steps in a proper warm-up, you can get to a step where you went just a little bit over where you should be, but it won't be a big deal because it's such a small increment from where you just were that you can identify like, okay, like I'm okay doing A skips, but B skips hurt, or I'm okay with all the skips, but doing buildups hurt. Then you can assess your injury. And finally, bad mechanics will cause injury. So, your warm-up, again, is a mirror for your performance and mindset. It also is going to let me know how much knowledge you have around track and field and what you're sprinting and speed training. Posture is going to show how you process stress. right? Usain Bolt and Glenn Mills, his coach, worked together to help him maintain better posture under pressure, because poor posture will not only slow you down, but it will lead to injury. Your warm up should prime your body for perfect posture, meaning that a lot of the drills you're doing should be with perfect posture or in the effort to maintain perfect posture. It should also train a balanced mechanics. That means stride length and stride frequency should be primed to be working together rather than opposing forces. So if you don't do stride lengthening and stride frequency things inside your warm up, it's not good enough. The pro tip is to slow down and perfect your posture before you go fast. And this happens in your warm up every day, and it should be drilled, and you should not try to break world records inside of your drills. Instead, you should be trying to perfect your posture. And the harsh truth is that you only get 2 chances a week to train speed. As we know from Glenn Mills and Usain Bolt, you need 72 hours between true speed sessions. So for many of the days, you're not training speed. So what does that mean about your preparation and how you're going to get better? Well, you need balanced structure. You need daily speed work and you need structured speed work, right? You can't sprint all out every day, but you must train speed every day. So the way that you get around this is with daily drills. You want to microdose your speed training, right? So you want to continue to always work on your neurological side of speed, because we know that the brain forms grooves that are going to be associated with speed training, and whether that's with bad form or good form, these grooves are going to form patterns. So you want to microdose your coordination, your reflexes and rhythm, your sprint posture, and your CNS activation. And that is no small feat to do every day, which is why a nice warm up is something that can be done, that should be done, that must be incorporated into your day. And then on this side of speed days that you're going to have every 72 hours, right? You want max velocity sprints, acceleration work, plyometric work, full recovery. And this whole package will get better depending on what the daily drills you are doing. So that's the solution to a lot of those problems, is if you fix your warm up, you will unlock your speed. I made this for athletes tired of guessing. It's going to take more than 15 minutes, but its daily sequences prove to prime your body and your brain. Master the warm up. If you can perfect your warm up, you're already ahead of 99% of athletes. I'm telling you this from experience on athletes that I coach. I'm not sure that I've met with one athlete who has had a high functioning, high performing warm up. So the warm up that I've created to help you out, there's many ways to do it. Actually, Noah Lyles has a great couple of videos on this, but the warm up that I've developed is based on my own experiences over 23 years of running in college and beyond. So now we can get to the athlete coaches. So these videos are reviewed from one of my athletes, Satchel. I said here, I responded already. The biggest change I see is relaxation and efficiency while sprinting. Efficiency is a major key that gets overlooked. Let's go ahead and check these out. So I'll have people drop their film inside of the school community that I have. Let's see. Right here in film, but oftentimes I'll watch it on my phone, so I won't get as good of a view as I do from a computer, because I already see a little something that we need to adjust here. Nice. So Satchel's problem was that he was very tight and tense, and he wasn't fully utilizing his stride. Now, these to me look much more relaxed, and those strides look nice and open. He's also attacking back at the track. I love to see that. Something we worked on together. Now, right here, the one thing I will say for Satchel, I will include into his coach's critique is that he's leaning back, and I believe that actually looks good. But he begins leaning back about here, right? What I believe is happening is the more that he's upright running, that's not horrible, the more he's trying to pick his knees up. And so for Satchel, he needs to do some core work probably and learn how to not lean back, go forward with his shoulders rather than back. And he shared another video with us. This one doesn't look quite as smooth. So I feel a little bit like he took a step back in this video and was more tense than I'd like to see. And that transition was a little fast. You see how it just pops up? Well, it wasn't horrible. That's all I'll say about that one. Okay, so now we have David. Let's see what David. One thing, David. You don't suck. You're just getting used to it, right? So we're going to change that word there. We still are trying. We'll say something like that. David, I'm quite impressed with your upright running. Your start needs work. Your arms also need work, but that's a nice stride. That's a nice stride. I would say you're not quite as active attacking the ground as I'd like to see. I like to see you really grab the track here. So your foot's just kind of falling down. It is striking underneath you. I like that you have full cycles. That's quite nice. Keep that going. But when you go to strike the ground, I want you to pull the track back, right? Engage the track with your hamstring on the way down. And actually, it starts from way back here. So I said I don't like your start as much as I like your upright sprinting, and this is why. So you see that foot just kind of falls in front of you and just waiting for you to land. I want you to snap back down and push the track all the way behind you so that you get explosive. And then once you stand up, that will transition to your stand-up speed. But this is actually great posture. And you're striking underneath you. And you're staying tall through all these movements. That's all working for you. The arms just look like they're there. They don't look like they're actually aiding you in your sprinting. Oh, that was a nice little. Yeah, you see how you don't really go anywhere in the start there? It's because you're not pushing. You're just waiting for your foot to land on the track rather than pushing the track behind you. But then you do a little bit better standing up. I still would like to see more aggressive attacking of the track. I think you need like sled pulls. I think you need hill work and some plyometrics, some bounds. And David, I think you actually have access to the Speed Lab training. I would look at the plyometric series in there, and I would incorporate some of those. So we now have V Han. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I said one thing I saw was that you seem to be leaning back while sprinting. Focus on posture drills from the sprinter's warm up. I'd say you also benefit. So similar problems benefit from plyometrics, bounding, lunges, skips, as well as resistance running, sled pulls, and hills. Okay, let's watch. Yeah, definitely leaning back. I can see here. You don't do a. Those are nice strides. You have similar. You're similar to David actually. Not horrible strides. You're just actually you're leaning back more, similar to Satchel. You're leaning back here. And you get a little overextended. I don't know if you're trying to slow down or not at this cone. It looks like you guys may be slowing down. But your leg is getting a little far out in front of you, a little bit too extended there. So similar problem. You're not grabbing the track. You're not clawing the track, right? And then this is you in the green. Okay, so you might think you did not do so well because you're behind your friend that you're training with, but I'll tell you, like another great coach taught me, he definitely has a better reaction than you. I don't know if there's one of you saying set go or not, but he definitely gets a better reaction than you. But you're in a better position. Neither of you are in that great of position here. But I would say yours is you got to stand up more. You see how you're bent there? Not horrible in the blocks. Shoulders over hands like that. Shins at 45 like that. You look engaged. But then when the gun goes off or when your friend says go, your first movement is up. So you have to push back on that pedal there rather than just being able to explode out. So your first movement is to push back. Do you have blocks? Oh, you don't even have blocks. I was confused with the hurdle. That's why you did that. Okay. So I need to see some better low heel recovery there. You already get into your cycles. And once you get into your cycles, it's going to force your body to stand up. So I would say something similar for you, Vion. I would say plyometric work, sled pulls, hill sprints. Okay, we have Brian Howard, my newest athlete that joined Speed Lab here. Let's see. There's nothing terrible there that I see, Brian. Just maybe need some more reps. Let's see what else. Oh, this is not you. We're gonna go over we will go over your YouTube video next. So this is also Brian. Let's see what he has for us. Just going to be doing the sprinters warm up here for a little bit, I believe. It's getting warm. The nice ankle series. Oh, these are what? A skips. Okay, let's see. Not bad. A little out of sync there with our arms and our legs. And those are B skips. Yes. So let's see. Let's go back to A skips. Not horrible. That one got away from us a little bit there. And so did that one. And so did that one. And so did that one. Almost just a little bit over exaggerated where it actually takes you out of your rhythm. So these are good experiments. And what you're finding is that there's a nice happy medium. Like those are nice, and then you get a little too big, and it actually took you out of your rhythm. So these are very rhythmic exercises. One thing I noticed here as well is that you're looking down. We never want to look down. We want to look straight ahead. I believe these are your B skips. You want to keep your shoulders forward. And now's the time where you can let that heel come out and cycle back underneath you. One second. Okay, so totally feel like you can let that heel go. I actually want you slowing down on these, right? That one's not horrible, but look at that compression in the leg that's on the ground. I don't want that compression like that because it's putting you in a bad position, a bad posture, because you're trying to get a little bit too much knee lift here. So I want you to be more upright and then striking under your hips. And then C skips. You're doing nice. These are pretty weird for a lot of people, but I'm not mad at these. So similar advice for your high knees. I would tell you to slow down and to perfect the motion. Um, right now, you just looked rushed, and your knees are actually not coming up that high. You see, assuming those are high knees, I think they're high knees. So slow down on those. Okay. Keep your shoulders forward. Just practice everything. Your shoulders are leaning back right now. Your knees aren't actually getting that high. Like if you want extra high knees at any point in time, these are the time to do it. But you have low knees and you're leaning back, and those are average arms. Actually, they're below average arms. They're not quite swinging through your hips, either forward or backwards. They're moving as though arms should be moving, but they're not swinging through your hips. These look a bit better. Still, I'd like to see you. Let me watch them actually full speed. It might make a little bit of a difference. Yeah, so those arms are joggers' arms. They're moving in a very small plane of field, right? They're moving from here to here, here to here, here to here. When in reality, they should swing back through your hips, not open up, but drive your elbow right, elbow back, and then this elbow forward. Yeah. Yes, the runner's lunge. So what I would like for the runner's lunge is, let's see if I can get the position. So basically you want to begin and end your lunge in this position, right? These are your high knees, but I want you to raise your knee up here and then fall onto that foot. I'll show you. So once you get here, then this opposite knee shoots back up so that you end in the same position that you began with, and you'll see that that leg just drags through. That leg drags through. Another way to think about it is right now I want you to step over this knee that's in front. So with this foot, you're going to step over that knee. It will then bring that knee up, and then you'll continue that. I also want you to get a little longer here. Yeah, I want you to get a nice stretch in your hip flexor. Let me see that again. And also do opposite arm, opposite leg. Those are same arms. Did you do it here too? No, that's opposite arm. That's opposite leg. I see. You're just not comfortable using your arms in a sprinter's motion yet, I believe, because these are opposite. And your natural programming should, those are the same arm, same leg, right? You have your right leg, right arm going forward. It should be this arm. So that just lets me know you're not that comfortable using your arms yet. So we've programmed that into our training for you. And then these are skips for height, I believe. And it's the same. Yeah, you're going to use your arms a bit more. But overall, I like the skips. Oh, those are skips for height. Yeah, not bad. Same piece of advice there, Brian. Just more arms. You want your arms to be able to, okay, I gave you a good drill. So when you're standing still and doing your arm swings, if you're having an easy time standing in place, then the arms aren't doing what they're supposed to. When you swing your arms, they're supposed to swing with so much force that your body wants to move forward even without your legs. That's how you know that your arms are moving powerfully enough. But of course, you also want them as quick as you can in that motion. So that's a good drill for you, Brian. Whenever we have arm swings on schedule, that's what you're going to do. And these are your strides. And I'm sure that your legs are tired here. You did the plyometric workout this day. But you want to practice everything that we just went over, which is higher knees, to lengthen your stride. And you will get more comfortable with it because I know that you're coming over from doing a lot of distance work. So those look good. Those look good. So figuring out a sprinter's stride is an interesting thing. Okay, very good. That gives me a nice idea on what we need to do moving forward for you, Brian. Okay. So that was all of our athlete film reviews. If you'd like to share your film too, you can go ahead and head on over to the Speed Lab and drop your film. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.